Want to have your SEO questions answered live? At SEOtraining.com, we offer our members monthly Q&A calls with the father of SEO himself, Bruce Clay. In this series, we are going to share some of the SEO questions that have come in from our members during our live recordings. So if you want to participate and ask your questions to Bruce in our next call, sign up to become a member today at SEOtraining.com. Enjoy.
This is kind of a broader question here, Bruce. What is the most common mistake people make towards SEO?
They don't hire us.
Just set you up.
It's only common because there are so many people hiring idiots. Most common mistake is they believe what they're told by somebody that doesn't know how it works, right? I mean, seriously, there are people still going around who don't know how to do SEO, but say they're doing SEO, and the way to do SEO is to buy links. And there are still people buying links today. There are still people who believe that putting pages on other websites helps your ranking. It doesn't. Google actually said that writing an article that links to you, paying a person to write the article, which in turn pays the site it ends up on, having that article on that website is a violation of Google's terms of service. They may not see them all. You may not lose all your rankings, but you know something? As soon as Google can automate all this stuff, AI is going to find you. And so I think one of the biggest things is people still buy into the fact that they believe that whoever dies with the most links wins. Now, I think that's the biggest one. The rest of it is people don't listen. There are best practices, and you can read blog posts, and you can read all sorts of, in our website and everything else. And we tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and people still do it. They don't pay attention when Google says something. If Google says, don't spin content, they spin it anyhow. If Google a year ago, let's suppose Google a year ago said, you know, in a year, we're going to have this core web vital thing with page experience a year from now, and it's going to be important, and it can influence your ranking. Let's suppose they were to have told us that. Why is it that 95% of all websites haven't even paid attention to it? They don't listen. And, you know, the people that did listen, they're the people doing SEO that are in the top 2 pages. I want to be in the top 2 pages, but I didn't listen. You're not going to be in the top 2 pages. Understand that you have to pay attention to things. If you ask somebody that has really strong staff as an agency, or yourself, and you have really strong staff, you can trust them. But if your entire department is interns, who knows what they're reading? And they may very well be picking up bad information and propagating it. Education is critical to companies. And I think that a lot of companies are too busy for it. And it's hurting the industry. It's hurting the industry. Way too often, we have amateurs running projects and burning it. My average client, I think, comes to us after they've had 3 or 4 bad SEO companies. Happens all the time. They assume it's a commodity and all SEO is the same, or they aren't listening to Google, or they buy into links are the solution, or they buy into things without really understanding what SEO is about, and they burn themselves. And then they do it again. And it's the people who hire experts that have been around and understand you have to play fair and you have to do it right. Those are the people that you should take advice from, right? Not the guy on the street corner, telling you that, yeah, all my products are premier. That's not going to happen. So I think that underpowering SEO is another area, and I think you need to do it. By the way, one of the biggest areas where SEO projects fail isn't that you didn't hire the right SEO firm. It's that for one reason or another, marketing cannot get their web team to implement it. That is the biggest problem. We have many cases where we have said, this is what needs to be done. Marketing writes it up. It goes to the IT department and they say, well, we've got a backlog of other things and we'll put you in for next year. We didn't have a budget for this core Web Vitals because marketing didn't tell me a year ago to put it in. And I can't do the performance tuning, and I can't restructure the website to be good. So you're just going to lose that 30% of the traffic to your competition. You should have told me. And I think that getting marketing and your web design team to understand that it's a bug. If you're giving away 30% of your traffic, it isn't an enhancement. It's a bug that you're giving it away because you didn't do it, right? Don't be surprised by the results you don't get for the work you don't do. Simple. So where do I think things go wrong or things fail, or what are the things that need to be done? It's across the board. There's a lot of things that are necessary, and hiring an underpowered agency or staff on your own end, not following best practices, not implementing, listening to the wrong people, all of those are really bad. So pay attention, and hopefully it'll all work out for you.
Yeah, and just to comment on that, like I've seen that oversaturation of SEOs in the market, especially over the last 10, 15 years, and everything you're talking about is exactly correct. And I don't think people realize how valuable it would be if your site ranked in the top few spots on Google organically, how life-changing that would be to you. That's worth a lot. There's a lot of value in that. So I don't know why people would undercut that by thinking that they could just pay, for this one-off person who has maybe a year of SEO experience to maybe get them to the top. Like, you don't think everybody else is trying to do the same thing? Like, there is a heavy competition for this. So it's definitely something that you have to understand the value of what it is you're asking for from an SEO. And if you're only paying so much for it, like similar to what you said, you don't get the results for the work you didn't do. It's the same thing. You're not going to get quality product for something you didn't pay for. You have to kind of account for that. And that's kind of what we're doing here at SEOtraining.com, is that this is not just a simple thing where you hire somebody and it's over. This is an ongoing process. We're all still learning here. So that's kind of what we're trying to achieve with this program.
If you want to join our next Q&A call, be sure to sign up to become a member at SEOtraining.com so you can ask your questions live. As a member, you'll also have access to dozens of hours of training videos, as well as our SEO tools and ebooks. SEO is always evolving, and you need a way to stay up to date. So if you want to raise your SEO to the next level, be sure to sign up today at SEOtraining.com. Thanks for watching.